He did really well with women. What's this all about? You know, ladies and gentlemen. Then they said Donald Trump is projected the winner of 2016. You remember that evening? Was that the craziest? That was, that was the craziest thing. And they thought, I think they didn't think it, but I'll tell you what, anything we had then, we have much more now. They don't understand. They do understand it. They do, right? They understand it. Look at that beautiful dress. And she wears that dress right through the middle of Hollywood, and everyone says, thank you very much. Beautiful. Like it. But they want to indoctrinate your children and implement a ruinous shutdown of the United States economy again. Biden said the other day, well, if the experts told me, we're not shutting it down again. We don't have to. We learned about the disease. We did the right thing. We saved millions of lives. People don't realize we saved millions of lives and hundreds of thousands of lives by not letting China. We put a ban on China, heavily infected. And Biden was against it. 3 months later, he said he did the right thing, I have to admit. It's clear why both China and the flag-burning rioters want Biden to win. They know his policies will be the downfall of America, and they know my policies will lift America to new heights of national greatness like we've never seen before. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And never forget, they're coming after me because I'm fighting for you. There's a lot of truth in that one. And they do come after me. They do come after me. They have more things to say about me every day. It's something. They said, you don't see the plane where it is? Sir, would you like to take the car? I say, why? I'm saying, what? Well, I heard you had a limp. I do? I don't know about a limp. I don't have a limp. Hey, someday I'm going to have a limp. I'll let you know when. You'll see it. No, they make this stuff up. They make it up. They make stuff. It's called disinformation. They give a phony deal out. They did it 2 days ago with the military. There's nobody loves the military more than me. So they make, you know, I was very lucky though. I had 15 incredible American patriots that came by and they said, he never said that. They were there. They were there. But they make up stories, horrible stories, many, many. Hey, look at last time. The fake dirty dossier. It was all made up. And frankly, if the shoe was on the other foot, right? If it was on the other foot, you'd have many people, 20, 25 people right now in jail for 2 years, and they'd be there for 50 years because they got caught spying on our campaign, and it's treason or whatever else you want to call it. And it's a disgrace that it's taken this long. It's a disgrace that it's taken this long. And let me just tell you a little secret. Obama got caught, and so did Sleepy Joe Biden. Remember Biden sitting in the room saying, why don't you use the Logan Act on General Flynn? Look at General Flynn, what he's going through for years. If that were ever reversed, I'm telling you, you'd have many people in jail for many, many years, and it would have started 2 years ago. It's a disgrace, but let's see what happens. Biden's a globalist sellout who spent his career laying waste to American communities. And, you know, he talks about like, well, he's going to do this. He doesn't have any idea. He has no clue. He's going to do this. He's been there for 47 years. And, you know, he just really left. You know, he left 3.5, 4 years ago, right? So he just left. But he's been there for 47 years. I'm going to do this. You know, after 47 years, he's had a change of heart. This is the craziest election. This is the Look, somebody said, what's the difference between crooked Hillary Clinton and Slow Joe? So the difference is the following. She's meaner, probably not as nice. I don't know. You can't get any worse than her when you think of it. But the big difference is she's smarter than he is. Okay? He's a nicer person, but he's not smart. He never was, not in prime time, and certainly not now. The Washington vultures ripped apart our towns in exchange for his party's nomination. Biden has now formed an unholy alliance with the most extreme and dangerous elements of the radical left. You know that, with Crazy Bernie and everyone. And by the way, you know who's further left than Crazy Bernie? Kamala. Kamala. You remember she left the race. Sort of interesting that they picked her. Because in theory, they should be able to win California. I don't know. Maybe we'll make a play for that one, too. But they pick somebody from California. I don't quite get it. But you always pick somebody that's hot, that's going up in the polls, right? Going up. Frankly, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever said this, but probably Hillary should have picked Bernie Sanders to be her running mate, right? Because, you know, as crazy as it sounds, he was hot. He gave her a hell of a fight. A lot of people think he won and it got taken away. One thing about Bernie, he's the greatest loser I've ever seen because, look, any children here? No, not too many, but they've heard it before. He got screwed 4 years ago and he got screwed again. You know, Biden got the nomination, right? He got the nomination. But if Biden would have sat back and if Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, you remember Pocahontas? Right? She finally faded. She faded badly. But if she would have dropped out on Super Tuesday, prior to Super Tuesday, Bernie would have been the nominee. And I don't know who I'd rather run against. One is super left. The other one's had to become super left. One is competent. The other one is only half competent now and heading south. He's half competent and heading south rapidly. But the globalists and the leftists make natural partners because they're united by their contempt for the American middle class in the truest sense. That's why powerful corporations and far-left politicians have both sided with radical demonstrated over, if you look at that, it's over the law-abiding areas that we have. You know, Republican cities and towns are doing great. We're doing great. And we don't have crime and we don't have this violence. Chicago over the weekend, many people killed, many people shot. They're actually shot and killed. New York, the same thing. New York's gone through the roof. They're up 300% in certain categories. And you say, what's happening? And we want to send them in so badly. Joe Biden and his party spent the entire summer cheering on the rioters, rampaging through Democrat-run cities, falsely labeling them as peaceful protesters. And you know, we call you peaceful protesters. You know why? Because they have rules in these Democrat-run states that if you're campaigning, you can't have more than 5 people. They did that for me. If you're going to church, you can't go to church anymore. You can't go to church. You can't go to church. You can't do anything. You have to stay in your house. But if you're willing to riot running down Main Street, if you're willing to riot and stand on top of each other's face and do whatever the hell you want to do, you're allowed to do that because you're considered a peaceful protester. So we decided to call all our rallies peaceful protests. Okay? Instead of standing up to the far left rioters, Biden condemns law enforcement and condemns America. Didn't even mention the words that we love and respect law and order. You know, they're all telling me, even my people, my very brilliant consultants who I don't listen to too much, maybe I should. Sir, please don't say law and order. It's too tough. Now, in the meantime, you look at these streets, people all crazy. They say law and order, but with safety and with security. I said, look, people get it. It's just law and order. Is that okay? Lord, we want law and order. They say law and order and safety, sir. Could you add the word safety? Because it's, I said, I don't want to, it's sort of obvious, right? We want law. We want order. Biden is fueling the violence with his relentless attacks on police and his constant slander that America is racist. By the way, I've got a police group in the country. Sheriffs in Florida, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, all over the country. But did you notice he's starting to talk a little bit tougher now? Did you notice that? He sees what's going on. His polls are dropping like a rock, and he sees what's going on. Now he's starting to say, no, we need law and order. No, he didn't say that, did he? He'll never get to say that. He can't say that because then it'd lose the whole left. And let me tell you, the left is running that party. You take a look. You don't want to be dealing with the left. These people are stone cold crazy. You don't want to be dealing. Meanwhile, Biden, he doesn't say a word about the thousands of African Americans who are murdered each year as a result of violent crime in Democrat-controlled cities. They're murdered by the thousands, and they never, ever mention it. My heart is with the hardworking patriots of all backgrounds who build up our communities, not the violent criminals and extremists and agitators and anarchists who burn them down.
Harass anybody.
Even if you don't agree with it, if I don't agree with something, I'm gonna stand up for what I agree with.
He's trying to get something that doesn't have to hear him.
But you know the majority vote rules. Y'all been outvoted. All right, let's see what the positive people is talking about on the
ballots. When you get a ballot, say, well, I wanted to go and vote, darling. I wanted to go and vote. Why are they sending me those ballots? There's something really... The only way we lose North Carolina and a couple of others like Nevada, we're doing great there. Now the governor decides we're doing so well that they're going to send out unsolicited. You have solicited and unsolicited. They're going to send out millions of ballots to you. People that never really thought in terms of it. Now, sometimes you'll ask for a ballot. That's a solicited ballot. It's okay. You have to go through a process. You have to sign a form. You get it. Sending out millions of unsolicited ballots. Make sure you send the ballot in and then go to your polling place and make sure it counts. Make sure it counts. Because the only way they can win is by doing very bad things. That's the only way. Look at this. You know, if Joe Biden came here and made a... This is not the most convenient place. You know, it's an airport. Hi, fellas. They did a good job guiding the plane. They're great. They're great. No, you're right. This is an airport. If he were, honestly, if he had 200 people, I think it would be a lot. I really mean. You ever see the gyms with the circles? That's his crowd. If he had 200 people, I was told we have 15,000 people here tonight. That's all. As far as the eye can see. But they'll correct it. They'll say, he's wrong. It was 14,500. He's misrepresenting. He's misrepresenting. Now, I was told we have 15,000 and we're in the middle of an airport someplace. It's a wonderful thing. And, you know, I actually think, I don't know if you agree. So we go to the arenas, but because of China, the arenas aren't working out too well, right? You can't really do that anymore for a while. But we are rounding the turn, I will tell you. We're rounding on that. But because of that, so we said, because we have the same